Hi.
Hey, I can't see your face.
I know, I don't know why. It's
Oh,
not even giving me an option to have a camera
crap.
because it's coming through like a webinar. So like I'm just supposed to be watching you.
No, 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 no.
So unless you can turn on my camera, maybe you
Let me
can
try.
because you're the host.
Promote to panelist. Okay, you're a panelist. Oh, wait.
Perfect. All right.
Hang on. There you go. Yay.
Still really dark.
Bless
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well,
It's just, this is what I got. When I click the link.
okay, and we're trying to get Tracy on.
I know. It's okay.
I'm doing that for maybe 2 minutes. To refresh again. Oh, okay.
Type an email in there. It doesn't matter what.
I shut it down and opened it back up. I thought that refreshed it, but I guess not.
All right. I have a lamp and it's still super dark over here. So
I
I don't really.
know. Darn. Well, it just said participants 4. Said Lauren McFarland raised her
Tracy's having
hand.
trouble getting in.
Okay. It says there are 6 participants.
Okay, here comes Tracy. That helped a little bit, but no.
That's better.
Come on, but where am I?
Lee has to give you access as a panelist.
Okay.
But the funny thing, okay, attendees. All right.
Thank you.
SBD warehouse. All right. So Kurt,
Yeah, just say.
promote to panelist.
I just need a place to sit this.
Yeah, I don't know why it's sending her through as SBD warehouse.
Okay. Probably because the computer, I don't know.
Right.
Now-
It's probably because she's using Chrome.
Hi. Okay.
No, don't worry. We're good. Thank you.
All right.
I know. We've all had a long night. It's all, I know. It's okay.
All right. Lauren's on here too. Okay. Good.
Wendy, have you tried putting your computer with the, well, are you on a laptop or are you on your computer?
Who are you talking to?
Wendy,
I am on my laptop at Lee's desk.
face the laptop towards the window
Tanner, try to keep the dog from barking, please.
so that the daylight comes in through the back of your laptop.
Well, that's easier said than done.
I know.
Hang on, just give me a second.
And I'm super dark and I've got a stinking light ring in front of me. That's a pretty color, Kim, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
Are my colors pretty?
Is this better? Oh, that's a little bit better. Hey,
Hi,
girl.
Lauren.
Hi, cuties.
Oh, God.
How are you doing? All right. So, Tracy, we've just got to get you, and we're at 9:51, so we have a few minutes.
She's heading upstairs.
I'm
Okay.
up here. I'm up here
Nadine just let
already.
her in.
I'm
Okay.
sitting down. I'm at my station.
Okay. Why don't we? All right. Let me try to do something with you for video. Ask to start video.
I can't tech support anymore.
I know.
Can't. I'm done. I got
God.
nothing left.
Okay, hang on. I'm starting. Hi, you guys. Oh, I'm not looking so good. Well, I try to make my hair pretty today, and this is
It is good. It is pretty. All right. I got to shut the door.
Or hang out with her or something, okay? Thank you.
All right, everybody, just mute your phones if you can, so we don't end up with notifications like hearing beeps and stuff. Oh, God, are you trying to? Yeah, please try to get the least crappy view, Kurt. That's not too bad. I mean, all the crap in your office.
Why didn't you stage?
I know. Tracy, where are you going,
Princess
honey?
Leia in the background. How about that?
Mm.
Princess Leia in the gold bikini. Is that a better view?
This is Leia.
How I look. It looks like I do stuff. I've got files.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
Okay, Lee, I gotta
Lauren.
figure out how to get to the Facebook Live.
Wait a minute, do you guys
I'll
still
do that
see
part.
me?
Yeah,
What?
but we
I
see
can
you.
see you.
Yeah, Trace, we can see you.
I lost the whole computer. I don't see it.
What? We
I
see
don't
you.
It's probably in another window. Just minimize the window that you do see.
Go inside. I'm on a Zoom call.
I know.
This is recording, right, Kim?
Yes, but we will be able to edit
Okay.
it out.
No, Kim knows what I'm thinking.
Yep.
Or we can add it to the blooper reel. Yeah. A
Yep,
minute
exactly.
ago, I was losing her
No.
mind. A package got delivered to the neighbor and now
I
she's all
threatened my
wound up.
boys. I'm like, don't you dare come upstairs.
Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Is that Trace?
I think that,
Hey, Lee, you're the host. Either you or Tracy, probably you, need to change her title from SBD Warehouse to something else.
all right.
And I think you can
It's
do that.
because
just by
she signed
clicking
in
on
with the Google
name.
Chrome browser that belongs to SBD Warehouse.
Got it. I got it. I fixed
So-
that. All right.
There you go.
So we've got 6 minutes. So essentially the format is that we're just going to get on. We're going to say, hey, Wendy's going to be the moderator. So she'll be simultaneously here and also taking any questions if there are any on Facebook. So if there's a question that someone has, she'll be able to say, hey, everybody, you know, we've got a question for you. The basic beginning is that I would start it and say, hey, thanks so much. You know, the reason for us being here is blah, blah. We have a new website. We've got new, you know, a new logo, which I changed the Facebook logo before just a few minutes ago. So hopefully they'll see that. And okay, it's all good. Talk about that we've got the new website and 13 years in business, and we wanted to just take some time to celebrate some good things that have been happening despite what's going on in our world, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, I from that point, I thought I would go around and introduce everybody, and you guys can say hi or whatever. And then at that point, see if there's any, you know, I'll just say if there's anybody that's watching that has any questions for us, want to make sure we, you know, we can acknowledge those now. I don't know how many people have jumped on. So, and then from that point, then we'll need to kind of do like the panel discussion. Okay. So, and that's just basically, I know that we had the questions, all that good stuff. So is everybody kind of identified which questions you might want to ask? Because we don't want to have overlap, and that's not a big deal. But essentially that's the reason we did that, is so there's not a tremendous amount of us of dead space. So we're just standing here going, oh gosh, your hair looks so pretty.
I know, I'm trying to fix it.
No, but I'm serious. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying that so
Yeah,
we're
I'm with you. I gotcha.
looking goofy. So,
All right, I'll start. I'm going to ask number 2. And
What's number 2? Did we
What
get
is it?
talking points? What list are you looking at?
oh, nobody has this in front of them. Okay, in the in Google Drive, in the SBD. Well, I guess maybe just pick from one of yours.
I know. So, well, Kim, we took the questions that you asked. Is there anything particular that you would like to, of the questions that you proposed, that you would like to?
If my number 2 is the same as Wendy's number 2, that might be it. How has it changed throughout the years?
Okay, yes,
yeah.
you take that one then.
No, you can, and then I'll follow it up with part 2 on the clients, how if they become more receptive to your
Okay.
advice.
Okay,
Okay.
gotcha. We lost Lauren. Maybe she went behind a bush.
Tracy, what would you like to ask out of your questions that you sent Lee? Which one do you want to start with?
Oh, can I talk about the virtual stagings and how, are you comfortable with that, Lee, to talk about the virtual stagings? Because that's
If
a
we call
brand.
them virtual
service.
consultations instead of
Oh,
virtual
that's what I
staging,
meant.
then yeah. Yeah,
You want me to talk to you about that?
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Tracy, you're going to ask about the virtual option.
Right.
Okay.
And Lauren, maybe do you want to talk, it was one of the questions that was about, you know, it was what things have we done or, you know, what has been some of the biggest changes over the last year, for example? And then I could just talk about how we've updated client communications and our systems and our processes. But then also,
What about the style that you're trying to go for?
I'm getting there too. So what I was going to say is that, and so we've also updated an awful lot of inventory, and then punt it back to you to say, so Lauren, even tell us for you, what has it been like as a stager to all of a sudden have this influx of different information? As long as you're not saying, you know, I don't have to stage with that old dated crap, please don't. You know what I mean? But seriously, that I can punt it back to you and say, you know, tell us what that's been like. You know, how's that been?
It's been heavenly.
Right. So I could, you know, say that to kind of everybody else. That is a good idea, Tracy, to take a picture of this kind of
Except you've got the camera in the photo.
Yeah, I know.
Take it lower.
Oh,
Am I supposed to be smiling?
Hey, I
I
can
wanted
take
to
an
send it to my daughter.
take an image from the video. Too.
Still. Okay. And Kurt, is there anything, I'm scared to let you answer a question, but in case there's some dead space, is there anything that you're going to come up with something on the fly, aren't you? Kurt? Great. We're on the same Wi-Fi and he's like, all of a sudden looks like he's disintegrating. Kurt? I've lost all of you guys. Oh my God. What happened? Oh my God.
Right.
Okay. That was fun. Oh my God.
Hi.
Get out. Go. All right. Okay. Shut the door. Shut the door. Shut the door. Okay. All right. So we are 10:01. I'm going to go live on Facebook. Wendy, you let me know if it legit works.
Okay.
So oh my God, it's taking me Facebook. Share on your timeline. Share on a page you manage. Okay. Not the safety center. Stage by design. Next. Preparing live stream preview.
Everybody's fine.
It's okay. Can you guys still see me?
Yep.
I can see you now.
Okay. All right. So, oh my God, connect it to, let's see. All right. Add a title.
Kurt to the rescue.
We are probably live right now.
I don't see anything,
Okay.
but I'm not sure.
Live
we
on
are.
Facebook, friends.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay. All right. Okay, it's saying redirecting to Facebook Live. So if we're live on Facebook, I'm sure this is super entertaining. And if not, we're here, honey. Okay, all right. Little tech support there. All right, let's see. I can't see you guys. I'm going to go back to the webinar. So can you see? It says webinar is now streaming live on Facebook. So this was super fun. We were all ready to go, and my connection got dropped at 9:59. So we had to reconnect. So Wendy, does it look like we are in fact live on Facebook? Can you see it?
Nope.
Yes,
She's not lying.
streaming live on Facebook. We are
Okay, all
live.
right. So there's our tech guy, Kurt Newport. So everybody, good morning and welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in today. There are two things going on. Number one, welcome, of course. We are doing this via Zoom and also Facebook Live. So what that means is that if you directly message me, Wendy is kind enough to be our moderator on this. I'm not able to see any comments here because I'm going through Zoom. If we aren't able to answer anything for you for some reason, there's a delay, we'll certainly get back to you. But the best thing is just good morning and thank you for taking your time out to spend it here with us this morning. The reason we chose to do this is because we've just got some fun announcements we've been working on. Today, of course, is the 13th of May, and we are first and foremost celebrating 13 years in business. Now, to be honest, this milestone happened in March, but we were in the middle of the virus and the crisis, and no one really knew up from down, and it didn't seem like anything that should be celebrated. At this point, we were just making it day to day. And as things have continued to evolve, you know, we just felt like it is time to say, gosh, we're so glad we're still here after this amount of time. We also are happy to have this coincide with the new logo, which if you tuned in on Facebook, it got changed about 10 minutes before we went live, and also with a new website that we've all been working diligently behind the scenes to get up and running. So thank you to every single person for their contribution to that. Some more so. Wendy's like, I can't see it. It's okay. It's fine. It's all good. I'll see if I can put up the page here to see if there's any. Oh, I see our faces. And I see one comment. Okay. Oh, thank you, Susan, for watching. Thank you so much. So what we're going to do today, first of all, I now want to introduce all of these fabulous faces that you see here. If you have not had a chance to meet or work or interact with all of these amazing folks, then I'm going to highlight them for you. So first of all, the dude here, who's the first time we've allowed Kurt to come into our live Facebook room. This is the one, the only, back up, babe. The one, the only Kurt Newport. He is the behind the scenes tech support. He's the man. I feel like I'm running a live television.
No pressure pulling this off, by the way.
Who came in and yes, reconnected me quickly. But Kurt has always been our behind the scenes IT and tech guy. And you know what? This time we let him be on the website, so you're even going to see his face. He handles our HR. He handles billing for us. So if you're late sending your payment in, he's going to call you right there, Kurt Newport. But again, he does a great job with supporting all of us for anything from running last minute supplies to anything that we need him to do. So he's an integral part of the company and always has been. He's just preferred to be behind the scenes, and I've kept him behind the scenes. But we thought it would be fun to let him come out and play today. Besides, I'm here in the same house, so it's hard to say, hey, we're celebrating the company that's 13 years. You can't join us. So this is for marital harmony as well. I'm just kidding, honey. I'm just kidding. We appreciate you. And then we've got
support
Wendy.
is on the job.
Let's see, Wendy, you're muted for some reason. I'm going to see if I can unmute you. There you go. Nope. Unmute. Why isn't your little thingy?
I muted it just temporarily so that I don't interrupt you.
Oh, okay. Well, you're fine. So Wendy's our operations manager. She's been with us, gosh, how long now?
I think this is my 4th year.
This is her 4th year. So she does so much for us. She is our behind the scenes and in front of the clients too, but she really helps to maintain the warehouse, the facility. I refer to her as the glue because she helps to get us all to stick together. She is an amazing problem solver, and she handles the logistics for the company and deals with the stagings and the destagings from, again, logistically behind the scenes. She helps out on stagings. She does a great job with inventory management and graphics to CRM management and anything else we can throw at her. So she does a great job with that. So say hi, Wendy.
Hi.
All right, and then we've got Kim Jones and that beautiful blue background. Okay, what is that paint color behind you, Kim? Because I know you're recent. Is this a quarantine paint job or previous?
No, this is actually a previous.
Okay. You remember?
But I want to say it's like something like nocturnal, something other. I don't really know.
All right, well, that's good to know. I love it. So Kim is one of our stagers, and she has been, oh my gosh, she's been with us a year and has been nonstop behind the scenes with helping us with this website as well, and also has really just stepped up and excelled at blogging and graphics and helps us maintain, takes great photos, edits them, and gets them up. So she is a very integral part of the company as well. And then below us, we've got Tracy. So Tracy is actually in a different part of our office that's actually not our office. So don't worry, we're not selling tile or carpet or anything behind there. But Tracy is a full-time lead stager, been with us a year, and she leads the majority, not all, but the majority of the stagings, as do Lauren and Kim from time to time. We take it situationally. So she is our full-time in the warehouse, pulling, prepping, helping to coordinate those looks, and does a great job with that. So yay, Tracy, say hi. All right, last but not least, we've got Lauren McFarland looking, I know, it's like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? No, Lauren has been with us a little bit over a year, and she is super crazy creative and works at the speed of a Tasmanian devil. So when she is in there staging, it's like a little whirlwind. She is just super efficient and super creative. So we like to bring her in on some really challenging projects, and it's fun to kind of get in there and see how she's going to mix it up. So it's always fun. So any other comments? I don't know if we've seen anything here. We've got a few people. Any comments that you guys did? Any questions that you have for us, whether you are a current client or a homeowner or some random person strolling across wondering what's going on with this Brady Bunch, shoot us a question and we're happy to answer that for you. We do have some giveaways. So if you stay today towards the end, we're going to have a drawing for those that comment the most, share, or like. So if you're watching, commenting, sharing, asking us questions, that you're going to be entered in a drawing for a fun giveaway. And this is going to continue as well. So, all right. I don't see anything that's popping up just yet, but that's okay. All right. So I think there were some questions we were talking about earlier. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I know this coronavirus has catapulted you into a new area with the virtual stagings and not virtual stagings, I'm sorry, virtual home consultations. Instead of going into the house, you're doing it virtually, right, which is, I think, an outstanding service. And I remember at first you being really apprehensive because you weren't in the house and you were trying to get as much detail to the homeowner as possible as to the things that they needed to do to help their house sell faster and for more money when they listed. So now that you've had a fair amount of virtual home consultations under your belt, what's your experience been like? How is it helping the client? How is it helping them move forward when we're at this social distancing, move forward in getting their home listed? And how's it been for them? Have you gotten any feedback?
We have gotten some feedback. Actually, one recent email from a client who she listed their house about a week ago. The house was sold, I think, within 48 hours, and she was very complimentary of the suggestions, that it just helped her tremendously. And which is great to hear, and the whole reason we do this. And the process is essentially the same. It's just broken down into several different parts, where normally we would go into the house and we wander around and create our vision and our thoughts, and we document it in our report and then debrief with the homeowner by walking through. Now, essentially, we just use that first initial gut reaction to the space via photos. We type up the information, and then I, through a Zoom conference call, essentially do that mental walkthrough of what we're sharing the photos. So there are some
photos previous to the consultation, right? They're taking pictures of their own house and sending you the photos?
Yes. So, and that works really well. And for those folks who've had some tech challenges, I've had them text me the photos. We just normally have them uploaded to Dropbox because at least it's in one big space. But for, folks who are intimidated by that or don't really know how that works, I client this afternoon at 3:00, she texted me 76 photos. It's fine. As long as I've got the information, I can review it, and we're kind of making it roll. And it's the only, I was going to say, I guess it's interruptions, but it's the same thing in real life. You have kids that come and hang on mom, the dog gets loose in the middle, the kids from home from school, and mom, I need a snack. All of the same things that we encounter going into happen to us in the virtual consultations as well. So it's expected and it's normal and it's okay. But it's been different. I miss going into people's homes, and I miss that, sitting across at their own kitchen table. I miss that part of it.
And are you typing while you're looking at the photos, or how is that working? Or do you type up a report before you get on a conference call with them?
So the answer is yes. So the first thing I do is try to jot down basic things that I can see from the photos. So I do create that report that says, oh, maybe we want to fix this or move this and change this. And then I have a pad of paper with me when I'm actually going through the Zoom call. So in the same way that when I would normally be walking through and we change our minds, or someone says, oh, I can't move that couch here because of this reason, then I go, okay, let me change and make a note on the fly. I'm just not entering into the document live. I'm taking scratch notes and then I enter it through it. It proved to be too many moving parts to manage the Zoom call and the report. So the only real difference,
full written report.
They still get the full written report. Normally I send it before I leave the house. Now I send it about 20 minutes after we meet. That's the primary difference.
Gotcha.
Lee, this is a good segue for Shelley Fabian.
Oh, okay.
She
Yes.
asks, when do you think you'll be able to go back into homes, Lee?
Oh, Shelley, that's $1 million question. I don't know. And fall into the category of essentially because real estate is deemed essential, right? But the way that we work, the size of our business and the ability for us to social distance, we really don't have any specific restrictions that says that staging can't take place. What we have done is not to offer occupied stagings, and when our staff goes in for vacant stagings even, we just ask people to get out, not to be present, which was the same as before, but we're trying to be more diligent about that. So my answer to that is it's almost a day-by-day assessment and decision. Previously, I'd hoped on Monday, but now the governor has rolled things back. And I think it's the client's perception. I'm not scared of the virus, but I'm scared of unwittingly carrying it or passing it on to somebody else. Just because I'm healthy, I am worried if some of these clients are older and I'm shoulder to shoulder with them in their home. Is that the best use of the time? So I think we will probably have a situational approach. And I hope that there will come the day, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, that I can say, yes, we're going back in. I just don't know when that's going to be right now. And since we've created a process that allows us to manage that, to help clients that need to sell without endangering their lives or ours, we're okay going forward. A great example is I had someone who wanted me to come into their house who was 8 months pregnant, and then they were taking their mom to heart surgery 2 days later. I think, gosh, I shouldn't be there. I feel like that's not a safe environment, not for me, but for them. So yeah. Great question. Miss Shelley. Anything else come through, Wendy?
Maria Lightly asked if virtual consultations are the same cost.
They are the same cost, yes. And it's interesting from a time perspective, I thought that it was going to be, I didn't really know going into how long it would take. And some of it, just like any consultation, is dependent upon how big the house is. But it's interesting, it actually takes me longer because I have to review sometimes 145 photos for just one house and take notes on it. And, a lot of homeowners, bless their hearts, are not always taking things in photos in a literal, like they don't take them in the same way that you walk through the house, or sometimes they take the main level and then they will go somewhere else. And so you have to kind of piece the house together via the photos. And that takes sometimes a really long time. And then you type it up, and then the Zoom calls last about an hour. And then I'm adding another 20 minutes into it. So it actually takes me longer, which is interesting. I don't have to drive, which is nice, but it does take me a little bit longer.
Right, you want one more?
Sure.
All right, Tom Rogers.
Hey, Tom.
He asked, what is the easiest way to show a seller the difference between before and afters? Looking for some simple things I can share as an agent.
Okay, so you're not looking for necessarily a photo example of before and after? I'm not sure I understand the question. Read it one more time.
Yeah, I think he might be looking for maybe like a gallery. Is that right?
Oh.
Maybe Tom, you could just comment again.
So that's an interesting question. And so with our new website, we actually made the decision not to show before and afters. We simply have the beautiful afters, but we do retain the befores and afters. So there's two things. For a lot of agents, we have created a co-branded marketing piece that lists statistics and is really branded towards your company name, your tagline, your logo, but it does typically show a great high impact before and after shot. And that's what a lot of agents use either electronically or in person for the listing appointments. But we can get you, Tom, whatever you need. If you have a particular listing appointment where someone is hesitant in staging and you say, I need sterling, 600,000, price point, I'm sure we have a before and after photo that we can show for you that's in that exact same demographic. So happy to help with that. Anything else?
Not right. Not yet.
Okay, good. All right. So any other questions, guys?
Well, I know you're launching your new website, and I've been involved in a lot of the talk with it.
Yeah.
How do you think, and I kind of have the answer to this, I'm kind of asking the questions just to get the information shared with everyone. First of all, how is the new website operating any differently than the old website, meaning booking appointments?
Right.
And then I don't even know, do you know how other stagers' websites communicate with potential clients? Because I know like your website has a platform where clients can book appointments, which I don't think is normal for most staging companies, or at least I haven't heard of staging companies using that.
Right. I think it's situational. We're fortunate again to have, some great systems behind the scenes, and we've been in business long enough to try to find different ways to make it as convenient. So that is one thing. And I wonder, I don't know if it makes sense to even share my screen to show what the new system would look like. What do you guys think? Should I try that?
Share it. Absolutely.
Let's try it.
That's my opinion.
If it doesn't work, then it's going to pull up Facebook here, but I thought I had, here we go. So this is what the new booking page looks like essentially. And it's just got the one service on there. So it's a little bit different, but you can see the calendar in a slightly, I think, more efficient and robust way. You still get to choose your staff person through that. Right now, I'm the only one doing the virtual consultations. But all of those services will still be there, and you can still book online through the website. Even if you have the old link, it's still going to function for you. We're not going to turn that off for a while. The other thing, like here's, for example, you've got different links to book your virtual staging consultation, to book, your regular consultations. So we've got, I'm on the Squarespace site, not even the live. That's funny, Kim. You're going to laugh about that. I'm not even on the live. Again, technology is great when it works and great when it's, when it does stuff for you. So, but yes, that's a great question. The integration is still there. One thing that's enhanced is a client portal. And this is a benefit of any consultation for staging, where before we just had a password protected link to style sheets that were our trademarked video or visual guides. We've expanded that client portal to be much more detailed and much more robust. So we not only have the information about how to fold a towel, we also have our preferred vendors, because we get calls all the time. Hey, I can't remember. How do I get a hold of, Buddy Saunders with Saunders Flooring? I think you mentioned a carpet guy. How do I get a hold of him? Well, with that password protected link, that again is a benefit only of a paid consult, then you'll be able to access that. And we're going to continue to add to that and make it more and more robust based upon the client needs.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's a great question. And we're just trying to improve communication as best we can. You can actually even click to call if you're on mobile. You can click right from a hovering little icon to book an appointment. So we try to make it as easy as possible. Am I missing any new tricks on the website, Wendy?
Sorry, I've been reading Facebook comments, so I think in like my peripheral hearing, I think that you got the highlights. So, all
right. Are you there?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah. So this was funny, as you said. I'm not going to say it. Listening. My computer brought up Cortana and was like the robot thing saying, I couldn't hear a word you said. Can you say it?
You just got louder, for what that's worth.
Well, like I said, it's something that popped up and said listening, so I couldn't hear what she said. So any other Facebook comments?
Let's see. Well, Shelley Fabian is asking if you're still helping people with their current homes. And I think we covered that a little bit by introducing the virtual consultation.
Yes.
Shelley, we can also do the color consultation virtually.
Yes. I mean, I'd love to be able to do it in person if we could, but if we can certainly do that for staging, and in situations, we can certainly do that for redesign. We are offering virtual redesign also. Again, I'm hoping we're going to be back to regular business as soon as possible. We are still, of course, still staging those vacant homes, and I think that's a good thing. If there aren't any other questions, one thing I would kind of like to, and it's just, for everybody that knows me, sometimes I like to do things on the fly, and this is no different. But I thought it'd be interesting because we have all of our faces in a Brady Bunch view, kind of talk about how each person here interacts with clients when you book either a consultation or when you book a staging. So what do you think, guys? Can we run through that?
Sure.
Okay, so the first thing is, let's just quickly do a consultation. So when the consultation is booked, we get immediate notifications, whether it's Tracy, myself, or Kim, when we're doing the in-person consultations. This is going to be your team that handles that. Wendy also gets notified. It goes into our client management system. And for billing, Kurt gets in there on the back end from sending either QuickBooks invoice, or you'll have a credit card on file. So we all are aware of where everybody's going and who's scheduled and what's happening. So long story short, if you had a question about even a consultation as an agent and you only had Kurt's email handy or Wendy's email handy, we all know what's going on for all of that. If it is a vacant property, essentially, a lot of times people tend to reach out to me first if we've worked together before, which is fine. And then we'll set up the estimate. And that might be Kim that's sent out to the property. It might be Tracy that's sent out to the property, or it might be myself, or it could be Lauren. It depends. Each of the lead stagers, dependent upon the timing and some of our innate specialties also, with maybe an experience in model homes or kind of working in funky spaces, we'll often send the person that's best suited to that task to preview the house. And then they communicate the needs of the house. In other words, how much furniture do we need? How long will it take to stage it? And they enter information into our system, which again, we all have access to it through our really robust CRM. And then I send the proposal, and then the contract gets signed. Kurt does the billing, Wendy does the scheduling, and then we communicate. Wendy's basically your point of contact for movers moving in and moving out, and the lead stager is the person then who handles the kind of game day staging logistics as well as the final look. So we all talk collaboratively about the project itself, but for the most part, it's whoever's leading that project, that's their baby. That is their baby. So from beginning to end, they get to help really develop and control that final look as much as possible. So that's how it kind of goes full circle for all of us. Any other feedback on Facebook, Wendy? Just like, this is hard to look at Facebook and this at the same time. Okay.
Not yet. We're good.
Awesome. All right.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How has the staging industry changed over the past 13 years?
Shoot.
I mean, you've seen a lot. When you started, this was an unknown commodity.
Yes. There were only 2 other stagers that I knew of that were definitely in Loudoun County, and there weren't many more even closer to DC. It started in California and really slowly transitioned here to the East Coast. And it significantly changes from not only an awareness perspective, and people didn't know what staging was, to understanding how it worked. One of the biggest impactful changes I think that it's seen is that staging has never been just throwing furniture in a house and hoping that it looks better, at least from my perspective. But I feel like the expectation and the look has gone from, okay, here's some rental furniture and it's okay. And some, here's a little rug. It's almost transformed to a designer look. And I think those who are successful at it and who really do this as a professional business, I think that is now the standard, that you're not just, putting that furniture in. We've upped the game significantly. So the look, number one, is transformed to a much higher end for all properties, regardless of price point. And we've seen a huge transition on the part of real estate agents that are not only bought into the process, but it's incorporated into their marketing and pay for it for their clients, whether it's just a consultation. Some pay for the vacant staging, not a lot, but some certainly do. And then even more so, the homeowner have become on board, where homeowners would didn't know about staging. Well, now they do, even if it's only, they've had one experience. Oh yeah, we worked with the stager when we moved from, Missouri. One of the biggest shifts I've seen with COVID-19, I think that realtors are, pivoting in their own businesses as well. And they're kind of also maybe changing the way that they work. That what's been interesting in the last 3 weeks, the significant amount of homeowners that are reaching out to me independent of their agents to ask me about staging. They have their agent, but they're the ones that are calling me. So that's always been the case, but the numbers are just so different. Or the agents are saying my seller wants me to contact a stager. So I just think that's interesting and significant.
So Lee, you said that the homeowners are becoming more aware of this.
Yes.
My question is, since home staging is becoming a little bit more widespread and known, how are they more receptive to your comments, to your suggestions? How are they reacting these days compared to when you first started?
I think awareness does not necessarily equate buy-in. Just because they know something exists doesn't mean they want to do it. So I think the same emotions that drive people to be very house proud also still provide roadblocks for them to understand that I really don't want to do this. I think some of it's still generationally tied to. So for example, the older, even 55, 65 years old folks are like, well, I know that I don't want to paint my cabinets, and the neighbor across the street said she would never paint her cabinets in order to sell, and guess what? She caved and then she sold. They still don't want to do that, and that's okay. There's always going to be a certain amount of resistance, but I do think the advent of HGTV, the fact that it's
huge help. There's so much more with HGTV, making the term staging a household known term. Like when I started 2005, I had to tell everyone what staging was, how it worked, and why it benefited them. But thanks to HGTV, they already know that. And yeah, you get pushback every now and again, but because of HGTV, most of our clients, not all, but I'd say 97%, they already know what it is, how it works, and how it benefits them. And they're all in, they're all ears. They're like, tell me. Oh yeah, my realtor said that. Oh yeah, my realtor said that. Oh yeah, my realtor said that. I've already done this, and this. Like, thanks to HGTV, doing so many shows on staging and showing so many jaw-dropping before and afters, I think the general public now gets it.
I think they're definitely aware of it. I will say, and I'm going to circle back to Tracy and HGTV in a minute, but what's interesting is going early on, there was the HGTV effect, but there was also the fact that HGTV would show that we renovated your kitchen, we took down this wall, we brought in all this furniture, and it cost you $2,200. Well, they never also incorporated the cost of the labor, the cost of the designer. It was just a materials cost. So there was an unrealistic expectation on cost that I had to continually overcome, and that was interesting.
Yeah, that's hard.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but Tracy used to work with Sabrina Soto and get it sold when it filmed out of DC. So that's our own Stage by Design claim to fame, because Tracy has legit credentials when it comes to HGTV. So girl knows exactly what she's talking about. We're all super proud of that. Yeah. Kind of cool and crazy, huh? I know. Crazy.
Hey, Tom Rogers wants to know about some of your biggest challenges. Let's hear about some of your horror stories.
Okay.
That's something each of you have experienced. So.
Well, the sofa doesn't fit. The sofa doesn't fit up the stairs.
Yeah. What else, Kim and Lauren? Is there anything that you guys have been talking an awful lot? Is there anything that you can think of, any crazy situations we've walked into that you would like to share?
Lee, what about the dolphin fountain in the foyer?
Yep. So there was a house that we shall not name, but I loved these sellers. I was there 3 hours. I mean, I just felt so comfortable with them. At one point, the, 80-some-year-old husband says, "Oh, you're blocking in my daughter. Can I have the keys to your car to move your truck?" I'm like, "Sure." I don't even know this man. But in the middle of their foyer is a custom-built copper dolphin foyer, that fountain rather, that spits water and also created a little bit of water damage. But and it looks like some sort of Florida Caesar's Palace combination right here in the middle of Loudoun County. And they loved it. And yeah, that was an interesting conversation. She said, "But everybody that comes to my home loves it." And I said, "It's because they love you. And it looks like you, and you're fun and dynamic and quirky, and that's why they love it." I don't know if they would love it if they're trying to buy a house that's right there in the middle of it. So that was literally physically impossible to overcome.
What was that one staging, Lee, when it was like maybe 2 or 3 months ago? I even sent out a group text to the whole team and I said, "Oh my God, this is what happened. Lee didn't hit me. She didn't yell at me. She didn't even fire me. She just looked at me and said, 'Is there anything else I need to bring you to the staging? Because I forgot something really significant.'" Was it like
You
the
forgot
bed?
the legs to the beautiful table.
There's the legs.
Was it? Oh, the dining room table legs. Yeah.
I believe that was the same staging where they were trying to repave the cul-de-sac when we arrived. And I said, no. We have a truck coming in here. You can't be repaving.
Was that the same house?
That was
I think
Banco. So basically, Kim calls me and says, there's, "Oh my gosh, the truck's about to get here. There is an asphalt truck." So she basically had to tell this team of, I don't know, workers, stand down. That was also the one that I had to steal a vacuum from the neighbor. But Lauren, do you remember the giant TV? Not TV, the table at Dean Drive. Remember with the gigantic, they're metal. It's a 96-inch table, and it's got table legs that are like a big square, a big rectangle, and they are this wide, right? And so you can't transport it with it. And Tracy, bless her heart, left the legs. And so that's the one thing in our warehouse that, I could throw a chair in my car, but like a couch, I couldn't deal with that, and I could not lift those legs to get it in there.
Didn't they weigh a lot? That table was like a few hundred pounds.
Oh, it's 3.
And weren't we putting it in a spec house for a builder, so it was going to be there for a while?
It was going to be there.
So pretty.
Photos. Oh, it was so stunning. We love that table. However, when everybody's there and I'm the only one that can help, I have to call Kurt and say, "You need to come into the warehouse because you got to help me load these legs. I don't know if there's going to be, any people at the facility around us to help me." So he came in hot. Seriously,
Puts on his superhero cape.
Huh?
He puts on his superhero cape.
He put on a superhero
I had
cape.
to go lights and sirens to stagings a few times, but
Yeah,
we
that's
work
not
it
the
out.
first. Yeah. So yeah, we had to bring that in there. Yep, absolutely. And then the vacuum cleaner wasn't at the staging, and so of all of the little pieces of styrofoam, this is still kind of during the virus part. I had to go to a neighbor's house, and I had a $20 bill. I had my gloves and Clorox wipes, and I'm like, "I'll give you $20 for an hour with your vacuum." And they get
That's right. It was right at the beginning of the virus.
Yep.
They actually
I
welcomed
think
me
she
to the
took your
house.
wipes.
Oh, and yeah, they did. They said, "No, I don't want your money, but I'll take some wipes." They did. You missed that, Lauren. That was a good one. That was a really,
Black market Clorox wipes will never end.
I know. I think that the only other crazy situation that I can remember that was just the biggest nightmare was a house in Alexandria. It was a 4-level townhouse with windows on 3 sides that we were staging for a builder, and they assured us that the hardscaping would be in. They assured us that it was not going to be a muddy cesspool when we arrived, and it was pouring down rain, and it was a muddy cesspool. And they had to put, and there was no access to the front because they'd had the silt fence, and we could only get in through the back, and it was literally through mud. And they had to put down plywood for us to get in there, and it was such a nightmare. And at one point, the contractor says, so what's the worst thing that you've ever had to deal with in staging? And I just looked at him and I went,
Oh my God.
this is it. This is it. I said, I'm afraid that this was Jason, the mover. I said, I'm afraid that Jason's going to die carrying this couch in this mud thing. And I was exaggerating a little bit, but we were just, it was a slope, and we're walking across muddy pieces of plywood to get into the house. And I was just waiting for like the mudslides to take place. It's crazy.
Although we've staged homes, at least Lauren and I have last summer in DC, I think it was, no air conditioning, and it's hot as hell, and she is just dripping.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I get a little sweaty sometimes.
It was just dripping, but we got it staged.
I know.
Always.
Get it done. Always get it done. Yeah. Well, do you remember, Wendy, the house so the homeowner didn't tell us until 20 minutes before we were supposed to arrive that the driveway would not support a 22-foot truck? Centrillion, remember?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Never heard of that.
And so we ended up, luckily that day I brought my giant Toyota full-size truck instead of my Saab convertible, thank goodness, because we ended up driving my truck up to the top of the driveway where the moving truck was, putting furniture in the back of my truck, driving down to the door, unloading that truck, putting it in the house, getting back in the truck, driving up, loading it up again. Half the time Lee just rode on the furniture in the back of the truck up and down the driveway.
We had dog races going down the driveway.
That was a lot.
Well, when we were destaging, the homeowner basically said, okay, you can come, but all of a sudden told us that they had to be out of there in like 2 hours. So we had to get it past. Yeah, we had to get the furniture out because she needed to leave, and it was a gated home. Like there was a gate, and she basically fired her the real estate agent fired her, if you want to know the truth. And there was some contention there because we were brought in by the real estate agent. We didn't do anything wrong. She was just unhappy in life, I think. And it came over onto us, but yeah, it was one of those that was crazy. So any other kind of crazy things that you guys can think about? And then we should probably do our drawing here in a minute.
Oh, okay, let's do drawing.
Tracy's like, Kurt, is there anything that you want to add? Anything that you want to tell even agents? Because you haven't had an awful lot of chance to talk, which I'm sure you're absolutely fine with. But
to talk to agents and things? No, I'm the behind the scenes guy, and I do all the stuff that nobody else wants to do. So, no, thank you. A lot of the agents and stuff are really great about getting back to me and stuff. So, no.
Okay.
I got my own list of questions, but they're not Lee approved. So I need to behave. He's already locked me in the basement for the call, and I'm the first pull. So let me out. Help.
I'll stop. And you're starting to go in and out, so I hope we don't lose this call. But guys, basically, if anybody's still watching, I just want to say again, thank you so much for taking the time. We always appreciate your support, your interaction, and your loyalty, and which helps to keep small businesses like us in business for 13 years. We have grown to a point where we can support you, even if I'm on vacation, if Wendy's on vacation, if Lauren's not here. We all have such a slick system, we feel, to really keep the momentum going. So just because we're a bigger company doesn't mean that we don't still have the level of customization that each project deserves. It's still a curated look. We just have the infrastructure and scalability to meet all of your needs. So with this, again, 13 years in business, new website, new logo, please check it out. But what we're going to do is from this point on, because I was laughing thinking that 13 years in business, we're finishing this on the 13th, and all of 2020 feels like Friday the 13th to me. So we're going to celebrate the next 13 days with live giveaways starting now. So Wendy, are you prepared to pick our winner today from those who have commented, watched, and shared?
I am prepared, and while I'm digging through our pile of fun here, one quick thing, Elizabeth Elizabeth Koblak
Yes.
has joined us, and she wants you. She says, "Lee, do you remember my replica actual tiki house?"
Yes, I do. I do.
I remember that one too.
Burned in my memory. I took pictures, Elizabeth. That was a house where they had this barn that had full, kind of a garage, but they had, full electrical heat and air. And there was a well-known, it was Alexandria listing, but a well-known restaurant that had a full tiki bar. And when it went out of business, they bought everything and brought it up. I'm talking the door, the signs, the menu, to this room. It was a 1970s tiki bar. It was awesome.
Nice.
Crazy.
I do remember
I mean, the
a
parties.
few years ago that we did that somebody had like a pole in the basement.
Oh, well, honey, you got to exercise however you can. So yeah, there was, so my favorite thing, like my favorite pastime is writing weird things on the consultation report. Stripper pole is always one of them. That's high on the list.
That has to go.
Yeah. Other things have been like life-size kangaroo, dolphin fountain, yeah. All of those tiki bar. I mean, I just think it's funny. So yeah. So again, we're going to go live on Facebook every day. Now, the way to enter moving forward is, and we're going to go through all of the posts and basically like, comment, and share any of our this event today. And then anybody who's commenting on Facebook for the next 13 days is going to be entered into these drawings. So the more you share, you comment, you like, you leave us a review, the more you will be able to be entered. So today's giveaway, this is perfect, guys. I don't know if you guys can see. So I've got a light ring in front of me, and you're probably seeing the little reflection in my glasses. And it is amazing because it makes you look well rested. So I'm gonna turn it off, and you're gonna see how bad it is. Hang on, because this is real life. Okay. All right.
It makes you look real rested.
Without it, okay, I'm dark and
Or behind the scenes
tired,
video.
and maybe 5 years older. So with it, hang on. There you go. So this light ring is something that you can use for your Zoom calls, for your selfies, for anything, and it will clip on not only on the camera on your phone, you can clip it right on your actual laptop, and just to give you that lovely, well-rested glow. So we're going to help to stage you for your upcoming communications and photos. So who do we
It is
have, Wendy?
being modeled by the lovely Wendy in the corner of your screen.
That's right. So this light ring goes to
Shelly Fabian.
Shelly. All right, I'll coordinate with you, girl. We'll either drop in the mail, or I'll do a mask and glove porch drop off. I think I remember where you moved to, so I think it's close by. But any parting thoughts, guys, that you'd like to add?
Please let me out of the basement. It's cold.
He
Well,
lies.
how's it working with your spouse?
I know.
We have a whole warehouse of a lot of brand new, beautiful furniture, rugs, art, decor that is on trend, and we are ready to go. I'm excited because I just did
I'm excited.
2 stagings.
Yep, exactly. We have actually updated the looks a lot. I know that all the girls were super excited to get in there. It is like Christmas every time we get new inventory, and we got a lot of it right before everything shut down a little bit. I mean, so much that poor Wendy was just receiving and assembling and putting it into inventory every single day, and it just didn't stop. It just didn't stop. And that's a good thing, because we do that not just to meet demand, but to keep everything looking fresh and on trend. And we do that all the time, and we really invested heavily in it this year to make sure that we're up in our game, because I think we are our own worst critics when it comes to our looks, and we want to make sure that we're proud of the look that we put out for all of our agents and our sellers. So anyway, this
Our
is
new website reflects a lot of that, so go check it out. New website, same address, stagebydesign.com. Go see it.
Yep, check it out. Give us some feedback on that. But this went a little longer than we thought. This is fun. This is great to see you guys. We'll go live again, just a much shorter version, but comment, share, like, review, and you'll be able to be entered in these upcoming drawings. But guys, thanks so much. I appreciate everybody that's watching. Hope you have a fantastic day, and please stay safe. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, you guys. See you.
Bye.
Bye.